The Made in Italy label is under pressure tonight. Italian prosecutors have widened a major investigation into labor abuses, pulling some of the world's biggest fashion names into the frame. And they've now demanded answers from 13 major brands like Gucci, Prada, Versace, and more. And while none of the brands are formally accused, raids have revealed migrant workers producing luxury goods in harsh, unsafe, and even exploitative conditions, pushing authorities to intensify their scrutiny of the industry. Here's our report with more.
Italy's prosecutors have dramatically widened a sweeping investigation into labor exploitation in the luxury fashion supply chain. They have naming some of the world's biggest brands, from Gucci and Prada to Versace and Yves Saint Laurent, as companies linked to suppliers accused of running sweatshops that exploit migrant workers. A Milan prosecutor formally requested information from 13 major luxury houses. This is after raids uncovered luxury bags, wallets, and clothing being produced in workshops where migrant laborers, many of them Chinese and Pakistani, were allegedly working in conditions of severe exploitation. The brands themselves are not currently under formal investigation, but the inquiry marks the biggest expansion of the probe since it began last year. According to documents released by prosecutors, inspections at workshops across northern Italy, particularly in Prato and Milan, revealed workers putting in 90-hour weeks for as little as $4 an hour, often sleeping in makeshift dormitories inside the factories. Safety guards on machinery had allegedly been removed to speed up production, investigators said, allowing leather bags that retail for over $1,100 to be manufactured for nearly $60. Now let's take a look at the brands in the spotlight. The brands asked to provide supply chain governance documents and audit reports include Gucci, Yves Saint Laurent, Alexander McQueen, Givenchy, Prada and Versace, Ferragamo, Missoni, Dolce & Gabbana, Pinko, Off-White, Coccinelle, and Adidas. None of the companies responded immediately to media requests for comment. Some brands named are the Italian manufacturing arms of parent companies, including Yves Saint Laurent Manufacture, Alexander McQueen Italia, and Givenchy Italia, whose products were found in raided factories. One recent raid near Florence found a Pakistani man and 10 Chinese workers producing luxury leather bags in what a magistrate described as conditions of serious exploitation. Investigators noted that many sweatshops exist in industrial hubs like Prato, known for its dense Chinese migrant community, where garments produced locally can legally carry the Made in Italy label despite being made under abusive conditions. Police say the problem is no longer isolated. During 500 inspections, we have seen the phenomenon spread from Prato north to areas around Milan and beyond, an investigator said. Under Italian law, companies can be held liable for crimes committed by suppliers acting in their interest. It is a liability now hanging over the industry. In recent months, Milan courts have temporarily placed several firms under judicial administration, including Valentino, Dior's Italian subsidiary, Armani Operations, and Loro Piana, not as a punishment, but to force compliance and overhaul supply chain controls. Loro Piana said it severed ties with a subcontractor that had secretly outsourced work to an abusive supplier, calling the violation a breach of contract. Tod's, meanwhile, is the only brand currently under formal investigation. Prosecutors allege the company knew about the sweatshops and are seeking a 6-month advertising ban on the brand. As the inquiry deepens and more documents are collected, Italy's luxury industry faces a reckoning. How long can billion-euro fashion houses rely on supply chains tainted with allegations of labor exploitation?
I rose from the army with medals on my chest. I spoke of freedom from colonial chains, but I tightened my own. I filled prisons with ghosts. Nearly 500,000 people were butchered under my rule, and I trusted only my paranoia. I gave myself grand titles. I claimed to be Africa's strongman. History calls me something else, the Dictator. Who am I?